Salute, guys. Gouch Merlot in the building. Stephanie McCoy in the building. Shout out to all you guys, man. Within. There's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on, man. Now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? Man, there's so much going on, man. Where to begin, man? Where do we begin, man? Excuse me. Where do we begin? While that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? Let me see, man. What the fuck? Goddamn spider, man. I don't mind spiders, man. But get the fuck out of my face, man. Spiders is good though. They kill bugs and shit. You gotta get out of my face though, champ. Now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? Yeah, man. Um, yeah, I heard about Roland Martin, man. Yeah, I heard about Roland Martin. Man, he got ran up on by that young boy. Then a few days later, his sister died. And then now he got this situation. Roland Martin, man, I kind of feel bad for him, man. Even though he is a Democrat shield, he having a rough week, man. Rough couple of weeks, man. I, I don't even. That Roland Martin situation is beneath me, man. It's beneath me, man. I ain't covering that, man. Man, that's salacious garbage, man. We cover important topics here, man. We cover important topics, not some Democrat shield sexuality, man. He's a Democratic shield, man. What do you expect, man? Like, be honest, man. What do y'all expect? He a Democrat, man. He vote like a woman, so if you vote like a woman, man, there's other things you do like a woman, man. Right? He vote like a woman, he do other things like a woman. Why y'all acting shocked, man? He enjoys the same things women enjoy, man. Yeah, Rolandra, man. Ro, Roland Anita. Roland J Nita. Roland Roland Atisha. Yeah, man. Salute to him, man. Whatever he doing, man. I ain't showing that stuff. That stuff he had going on his screen, man. That's nasty, man. Man cheeks, man. We we don't want to see no man cheeks here. Yeah, man. We ain't trying to see you. Salute to LRLRS, man. Big Larry in the building, man. I was supposed to get a haircut today, man. Hopefully tomorrow morning I can get one, man. It's hard to get out the house, man. It's hard to get out the house some days, man. Two kids got to nap. They got to eat. Got to do all this stuff, man. Good thing I don't go nowhere, man. Yeah, with Condoleezza, man, just use the PayPal or the Cash App if they won't let you do it there, man. Or buy a shirt from the merch store or something. Or join the Patreon. There's If you want to support this channel, there's nothing that can stop you, man. If you really wanted to support this channel, there's nothing that can stop you. Literally nothing. A Kofi? What's a Kofi? What the hell is a Kofi? I got enough shit, man. I got enough shit, man. Oh, Ko-fi memberships and shop sales. Yeah, I'll make that shit and y'all motherfuckers won't go over there. Make a Ko-fi so we can not go over there. You need to make a Ko-fi so people can not go over there, man. I got Patreon, I got all that. I got PayPal, cash, I got all that shit. I don't need no Ko-fi right now, man. I probably need a website. I probably need to make a website. Uh, all right, let's get started, man. Let's get it cracking, man. Enough of the small talk, man. Y'all want me to cover Roland Martin, man? Can't believe that, man. What kind of channel do you think this is, man?
New York City celebrating Caribbean culture today. In Brooklyn, large crowds have gathered.
Tether Day, man. Tether Day, man. Happy Tether Day, everybody. They gave these tethers their own parade, man. What the hell?
New York City celebrating Caribbean culture today. In Brooklyn, large crowds have gathered for J'ouvert, which will be followed by the West Indian American Day Carnival and Parade. And Elijah Westbrook joins us live from Grand.
Why is she smiling like that? It can't be like, yo. Why stop smiling like that, man? We don't smile like that when y'all having y'all little dragons and whatever y'all call it. Y'all having China Day or whatever the hell.
New York City celebrating Caribbean culture today. In Brooklyn, large crowds have gathered for J'ouvert, which will be followed by the West Indian American Day Carnival and Parade. And Elijah Westbrook joins us live from Grand Army Plaza in Crown Heights. Yay, Elijah! The party is well underway. How's it looking?
That's right. Well, you just said it, Cindy. The party is well underway. J'ouvert.
That's a lot of sun right there, man. I don't like these demographics, man. They look like something might happen, man. What's the over under on there being a mass shooting, man? Damn, man, where all the white people at, man? I'll come down there if y'all lighten this place up, man. But as is, man, I think I'm gonna stay home, man. Too many sun turds, man. Where there's more than 3,000, that's a place where I won't be housing.
Kicked off about 30 minutes ago at this point. Here's a live look right now at Grand Army Plaza. There are hundreds of people out here at.
Yikes, man.
As we speak, the excitement truly is in full swing. We have, let's see here, we're looking at rich costumes, smelling a little bit of the food. There's some folks in the distance dancing, and so much more on full display this morning. And the good news, we are just getting started.
Oh, shucks. Now I might have to change my mind now, man. Got all that beef there, man. I ain't know y'all was going to have this there, man. I ain't know y'all was going to have all that I love pork, man. I love pork backs, man. Man, you know what, man? I was thinking about staying home, man, but I think I might go down there, man.
Started. Now let's talk a little bit about safety for a second amid all this fun.
Safety? That's racist, man. It is racist talking about safety, man. Talking about safety, man. What you mean safety? If it was, what's safety, man? What you trying to say, man?
Bit about safety for a second amid all this fun. Now, the NYPD says officers will have a strong presence watching from both the ground and skies. We're told that they were.
Oh, see, this is a police state. See, look at this, man. We can't even get together without the white man spying on us, man. It's COINTELPRO, man. COINTELPRO, y'all. We being over policed, man. They got us, they looking at us from the ground and the sky.
Have a strong presence watching from both the ground and skies. We're told that there are 13 security checkpoints. Police are also coordinating with local faith leaders and crisis management teams to keep things safe. Now, keep in mind, several streets will be closed to traffic to accommodate this grand event taking over the streets of Brooklyn. So perhaps public transport.
Uh-oh. Man, that's a sea of suns, man. God, oh, man. A lot of suns, man. A lot of tethers, man. Tether fest, man. Aren't tethers less violent, man? I heard somebody say that, man. Tethers are less violent. I heard some people say they're more violent.
Transportation is your best bet instead of driving. Here's what parade goers are saying ahead of today's event.
Our culture, our hometown, it represents.
Yeah, smash, man. She's cute, man. She's a cute young lady, man. She look like Ethiopian, though. She look like she got Ethiopian in her, man.
Our culture.
She's mixed with Ethiopian black or something, man. Either way, you a tether, man.
Culture, our hometown, it represents everything Caribbean.
We've been living in New York our entire lives, and we've always, on this day, come right here.
We welcome everyone, but we also love to just show our culture, show our colors.
That's right. It's all about the culture. And right now, we're undergoing the start of Juve, which essentially.
See, white people can't do this because white people don't have a culture, man. Make sure you take the $5 challenge. Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat, guys. Make sure you support the damn channel, man.
Serves as the pre-celebration before the actual parade kicks off at 10 a.m. Juve, once again, means daybreak in French. Parade organizers tell us the West Indian American Day Carnival will stretch nearly 2 miles along Eastern Parkway and is expected to attract more than 1 million spectators this year.
Wait a second, man. It's going to be 1 million tethers down there, man. God damn, there's a lot of tethers, man. It's like God damn, man. A tether expo, man.
Here, you're getting a look
Gee.
right now at some of them here at Grand Army Plaza. That's where we are reporting from this morning. Elijah Westbrook, CBS News, New York.
Okay, Elijah.
There go another biggin, man. Another biggin.
Thank you. Enjoy
That's right, man. Biggins all over the place.
yourself out there. Here is a look at today's parade route, which runs along Eastern Parkway and Crown Heights. To get a closer look, plus some street closures and other information related to the.
Oh, there's an update, man. They got an update, y'all. Let's see the update, man.
Us new details on that shooting along the parade route. Here's what we know right now. Police say 5 people were shot. 2 of them are in critical condition. This happened.
Hey, man. There was 1 million people down there, right? They said it was expecting 1 million. 5 got shot, man. That's a good ratio.
Us new details on that shooting along the parade route. Here's what we know right now. Police say 5 people were shot. 2 of them are in critical condition. This happened near the corner of Eastern Parkway and Franklin Avenue when police say a shooter stood up on a barrier and fired into the crowd, apparently targeting someone he was.
Fired into the crowd. That's one thing about Sons, man. They have no problem hitting other people, man. They have no problem. Like, it doesn't bother them at all.
And fired into the crowd, apparently targeting someone he was feuding with. And right now, the shooter is on the run. News 4's Gabby Acevedo is live in Crown Heights with the breaking details for us. Gabby?
Party don't stop just because 5 tethers got shot, man. Tethers get shot every day, B.
Gilma, just as you said, 5 people shot, including a woman. 2 are in critical condition, and the shooter is on the run. In the meantime, all around me, you can see that despite the gun violence, the parade goes on with thousands of people now marching down Eastern Parkway as detectives gather evidence.
Y'all are savages, man. These people are savages, man.
From the shooting happening just before 2 p.m. Police say gunfire erupted as a result of a dispute, as you mentioned, Gilma, between some people. Video shows a man being loaded into an ambulance with an injury to his arm. Police briefly stopped the West Indian Day Parade as NYPD officers scrambled.
And the one hombrito that was down there got shot. Green light. That's messed up, man. All them damn tethers down there and the hombrito got shot.
To an area where food carts and trucks were located on Eastern Parkway near Franklin Avenue. It does not appear that the parade itself was a target of the shooting. Police say a man wearing a brown shirt with paint stains repeatedly fired into a crowd. In the last hour, we have seen investigators working the scene, searching for bullet cases and interviewing people, and that parade goers have started running away, some witnesses say, from the dividing fences once they heard the sound of gunshots.
This was an intentional act by one person towards a group of people. We do not, by no means, have any active shooter or anything of that nature running around.
Yeah, man. There's no threat to the public, man. Condoleezza says, it's their culture. Take the 5 food stamp challenge, y'all, for the culture. Shout out to Roger Wood. He said, for the culture, man. Yeah, man, we got culture, man. White people don't have a culture.
Eastern Parkway as we speak.
We understand that on a day like this, stuff happens, you know? It's New York.
At least you understand, man. There's a lot of people out here who don't understand, man. At least you do, man. Press 1 if you don't understand, man. Anybody in here doesn't understand?
We speak.
We understand that on a day like this, stuff happens, you know? It's New York City. There's 1 million people out here, stuff happens. However, not so close. I don't think we ever experienced it being so close to the parade. Right, exactly.
Again, as I said at the top, despite shots being fired in the past 3 hours in this area, as you can see, the parade goes on. What you see behind me is Eastern Parkway, where thousands of marchers have just taken over the street as they make their way down to Grand Army Plaza. At this point, the NYPD is asking anyone who may have cell phone video of the shooting incident to please come forward. Reporting live from Crown Heights, Gabby Acevedo, News 4, New York.
Gabby, thank you.
Man,
Good
Good evening at 11 o'clock. I'm Sade Bitterenois. Bill has a night off. First tonight, the search for a shooter after gunfire explodes, hitting 5 people during the Caribbean Carnival Parade in Brooklyn. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon with the latest on the search for the gunman.
As sanitation swept up the garbage and glitter left from a parade that by all accounts was a success, and vendors packed up, police continued.
I would say it was a success, man. There was only one mass shooting, man. Think about it, man. That's a success, man. Everything is relative, man. There's only one mass shooting.
Continued to provide crowd control, responding to calls into the night, and making arrests for the occasional mischief and fights. But the search continued for the young man wearing all brown with a black bandana who shot and wounded 5 people. It happened right in the middle of the afternoon and the middle of the parade route on Eastern Parkway between Classen and Franklin Avenues.
This was not random. This was an intentional act. One person going to a group, firing his weapon.
The shooter fired from the divider here on the Parkway into a crowd of people who were watching the parade on the sidelines. Most of the vendors here didn't even notice.
I was just busy cooking. I didn't hear it because of the loud noise of the music.
The thumping rhythms of the Caribbean Carnival music drowned out the gunfire. Police were already close, and paramedics quickly scooped up the injured. 4 male victims ranging in age 16 to 64, plus a 69-year-old woman, all in stable condition tonight.
It's horrible because we're all out here to celebrate our cultures, to celebrate all of our different mixture of cultures together, and it's taking away from that.
As the NYPD tonight asks anyone who might have video or helpful information to share it, many who love this cultural tradition are once again disappointed that someone would bring and use a gun to what's supposed to be a show of unity.
It's a shame that something like that should happen on such a beautiful day. It shouldn't happen any other day, but this day is such a special day. They shouldn't, come out here with the violence, because this is all about love, music, and culture.
On Eastern Parkway in Crown Heights, Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Yeah, man, it's a shame, man. It's a shim. It's a shim. It is a shim, man. This should have never happened, man. Wow. Let's see what else is going on, man.
Now we're learning more about the armed man who was shot and killed by D.C. police yesterday morning in Southeast. Police have identified him as 26-year-old Justin Robinson of Southeast D.C. Now, Police Chief Pamela Smith said 2 officers fired at Robinson after he grabbed an officer's weapon. But as Rafael Sanchez-Cruz tells us tonight, this case has a lot of people asking questions. Rafa, what are you learning?
Yeah. This is Trayon White's area, man. Yeah, so what the cop? So what the guy grabbed the cop's weapon, man? You still ain't had to shoot him, man. What happened to de-escalation, man? You could have de-escalated, man.
Fired at Robinson after he grabbed an officer's weapon. But as Rafael Sanchez-Cruz tells us tonight, this case has a lot of people asking questions. Rafa, what are you learning?
Yeah, Lorenzo, throughout the day, neighbors have been stopping by trying to piece together this incident, but Justin's family has the most questions, and they're telling us they want justice for Justin. So let's walk you through what police say happened. So Police Chief Smith said that the driver first crashed into a wall in the drive-thru of this McDonald's, and that when the officer arrived, he was unresponsive. She also said that officers noticed a gun on his lap. Now, once the Robinson began to gain consciousness, officers told him to drop the gun according to authorities. Chief Smith said our officers extended their guns into the car and that Robinson grabbed one of the officers' weapons, which prompted them to shoot. Now, Robinson's family says they're calling into question the entire response. They tell me that the 26-year-old leaves behind a twin brother and that he was a community activist doing anti-violence work here in Southeast DC. Let's listen.
I don't think he deserved this. And this is why I came up here on my own to see what it was that made these officers shoot this baby like that, regardless if he hit a wall or hit anything. He didn't deserve to die. And that's the problem now. These officers are steady taking our kids away for no apparent reason, even if he...
These officers are steadily taking our kids away for no apparent reason, man. He looked like he was Muslim, man. The way he dressed, man. He looked like he might be Muslim, man. And in D.C., if you Muslim, that means you've been to jail.
Here in Southeast DC. Let's listen.
I don't think he deserved this. And this is why I came up here on my own to see what it was that made these officers shoot this baby like that, regardless if he hit a wall or hit anything. He didn't deserve to die. And that's the problem now. These officers are steady taking our kids away for no apparent reason. Even if he had a gun, it did not give them the right to shoot and kill him. He did not deserve this.
Yeah, that loved one did not want to be identified. They're telling me that although it might be painful, they want to watch that body-worn camera footage and the surveillance footage that would be obtained from this McDonald's. Now, this incident is under review by DC Police and also by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Under DC law, they have 5 days to release the names of the 2 officers involved, as well as the footage from the body-worn camera that were on when this incident happened. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll learn more about Robinson and all the work that he's been doing in Southeast DC. I'm live. I'm Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA 9.
Yeah,
wow. Wow.
At 5:30, police are searching for a man who pulled a pistol at a pizza shop. Fort Myers police say the robbery happened at Papa John's on...
Uh-oh. I think I solved this one.
At a pizza shop.
I think I solved this, man. Skinny jeans sagging, man. That's a Sun man. Salute to Charles. He said, what makes Suns different from any other group is that they don't mind poverty, suffering, and death. 5 shot and they party on like nothing happened. Yeah, man. We immune to that stuff, man. Tethers get shot every day, B, man.
Man who pulled a pistol at a pizza shop. Fort Myers police say the robbery happened at Papa John's on Cleveland Avenue around 9 last night. Welcome back. I'm Lois Tomey.
And I'm Russ McCaskey in for Kristen Hyde.
Yeah, bring back the goddamn old 80s newscasters, man, with a white, man. We need more white news anchors, man. Tired of every time we go to the news, man, there's a bunch of black people, man. Black people supposed to be in there, but not every last one of them. Every last one of them not supposed to be black. This remind me of my childhood. I'm getting nostalgic, man. Back with white people on the news, man.
Wing News reporter Olivia Jean joins us now live. Olivia, is everyone okay? And did the robber get away with anything?
Russ, thankfully, everybody's okay. A little shaken up, but no serious injuries. As employees tell me, this could have been a lot worse. The robber took all of the money in the cash register, which was about $700.
Papa John's. You know, who robs a Papa John's?
That's Tiffany's question for the man who held a gun to her face. A normal Sunday night shift for Tiffany at the Papa John's on Cleveland Avenue turned bad fast.
I was definitely scared, but I didn't think that he was going to shoot me. He was really nervous. Like, you could see it. Like, his voice was shaky. He was shaking.
Wink News exclusively obtained footage of the robbery. You'll see a masked man wearing a black sweatshirt and khaki pants sneaking into the Papa John's with a gun. He then points the gun at the 2 workers and demands they open the safe below the counter. When the employee replies she doesn't know the code, he got aggravated.
So I opened the register and told him this is all that I could give him. And he hit me over the back of the head with the gun. I'm not sure why. Maybe I wasn't moving fast enough. But I told him that I couldn't put it in a bag and that I just handed him the entire till. And told him to leave. I was just like, yeah.
He knew where the safe was, which is why employees think this was premeditated. Police were on scene within minutes, but the suspect fled on foot with around $700.
It was scary, but I was more worried about my coworker that was there. You know, she's a kid. You know, she's still a minor.
Tiffany only had a minor injury to the head, but she's going to be okay, and she's already back at work. As for the suspect is still on the run. Please contact Crime Stoppers or Fort Myers Police Department if you know anything. I'm live in Fort Myers. Olivia G.
Fort Myers. You know who's from Fort Myers? That's Deion Sanders' hometown, man. Fort Myers, man.
So many of these stories deal with the unknown, families and police officers grappling with the mysteries of the who and the why of murder. But in this case, the police, the family, even the suspect all know who committed the crime, and yet justice remains elusive.
In the winter of 2020, just before COVID came to town, police responded to the 5,000 block of Eagles Watch Drive, where 20-year-old Jeremiah Hardin was found shot to death in a car.
He was robbed and killed, that they robbed him before they shot him. And there was more than one suspect.
Investigators determined it was a marijuana deal that took Hardin's life. And a found cell phone led detectives to a pair of suspects, one who blamed the other, who confessed and said he shot Hardin in self-defense.
He did admit to shooting my son. He admitted to shooting him. And he also said there was another individual there by the name of T Money that he did not know.
But more than 2 years later, a lawyer representing the suspected killer filed a motion to suppress his client's arrest, claiming police had no reason to take him into custody when it was his roommate they were after. And a judge agreed and tossed out the arrest, and a deputy prosecutor called Alicia Hardin to say her son's admitted killer was walking free.
I'm so confused. I said, what happened to the witnesses? Why did they drop it? I thought he admitted to the crime. I asked her these things, and she just said, unfortunately, we could not hold him. It makes me angry at times that they're out here living their lives after, taking someone else's life.
There's the confessed killer, his buddy, a drummer, and maybe a guy named T Money, all quite possibly involved in the murder of Jeremiah Hardin in this quiet Pike Township neighborhood in February of 2020. But the case was dismissed, which means it could be refiled if more evidence and another witness comes forward. With Indy Unsolved, I'm Russ McQuaid.
Wow.
More than 30 years after it happened, police have made an arrest in the brutal murder of a 19-year-old Indianapolis woman. Investigators were finally able to connect evidence left behind decades ago to a man living in Missouri. Fox 59's
Shout out to 00 Gold Van 00, man. Gifting 2 Arc Nation memberships, man.
Charles Benberry is here now with the latest developments on this.
Goddamn, was this a white girl? Yeah, goddamn white girl, man.
It's decades-old case, Charles.
Who you think killed her, man? Who you think killed that white girl, man? I'm gonna give y'all some time. Who y'all think killed this white girl, man? God damn it, man.
More than 30 years after it happened, police have made an arrest in the brutal murder of a 19-year-old Indianapolis woman. Investigators were finally able to connect evidence left behind decades ago to a man living in Missouri. Fox 59's Charles Benberry is here now with the latest developments on this decades-old case, Charles.
Yeah, in the spring of 1993, an art student named Carmen Van Huss was found by her father after she'd been stabbed 61 times and raped. According to her brother, it's a site that changed him.
Father found his daughter stabbed 61 times and raped.
1993, an art student named Carmen Van Huss was found by her father after she'd been stabbed 61 times and raped. According to her brother, it's a sight that changed him forever. Now, court documents describe the scene as bloody and showing obvious signs of a struggle. Neighbors reported hearing an argument that night. DNA samples were collected and compared from samples from several men that she knew, but ruled them all out. So the case went cold for a few years until it was reopened back in 2000. Detectives continued investigating, eventually shipping the DNA off to another lab for further testing, and the results finally pointed IMPD in the direction of a suspect who lived in the same complex as Van Huss back in 1993. Now, 52-year-old Dana Shepard was working at the University of Missouri, hundreds of miles away from the scene of the crime, when he was approached by IMPD cold case detectives in the spring of this year. Documents say Shepard was visibly shaking as he read the warrant for a DNA sample. He turned out to be a match and was arrested. Carmen's brother Jimmy spoke off camera, crediting the closure of the case to an IMPD captain named Bill Carter. He says Carter spent a lot of his time solving the murder, adding that he hopes this will bring more attention to other cold cases and similar DNA testing. Jimmy Van Huss said, quote, "We would love a bill, a law, a procedure, something in Carmen's memory to get the attention other cases deserve. We are so thankful that Bill Carter was told my sister's name." Now, in addition to facing charges for murder and rape, Dana Shepard is charged with being a fugitive from out of state. When he was approached by...
Jeez. Can't stop, won't stop, Rockefeller Records. Damn.
Joseph, thank you. A crime alert now after a bar fight leads to a deadly shooting in Northwest Miami-Dade.
One man was killed and another injured in the gunfire over the weekend. And today we're learning more about the victim.
Local 10 News reporter Trent Kelly is live at the scene as police investigate. Trent.
So, Syra and Annalise, that victim has now been identified as 45-year-old Travis Sims. Sims, we know, was here at this bar early yesterday morning when he was shot and killed by someone outside. Those bullets hitting one other person as well, who was later taken to the hospital. As of today, police are still investigating this case, trying to figure out who exactly was the shooter here. A deadly shooting outside of a Miami-Dade bar, leaving one man dead and sending a second to the hospital early Sunday, just one day before Labor Day. The victim, now identified as 45-year-old.
I knew something wasn't right once I seen this scene right here, man. That still look dangerous, man. That scene still ain't secure, man, with all them sons around there, man. God, no, man.
Day. The victim, now identified as 45-year-old Travis Sims. According to police, it all happened around 5:20 yesterday morning when officers got an alert about possible gunfire from a ShotSpotter detection device near the Tropicana Bar on Northwest 79th Street and 10th Court. Once there, first responders found Sims suffering from multiple gunshot wounds before pronouncing him dead at the scene. According to a relative, all of this started when Sims got into an argument with another patron inside the bar. After leaving, that's when this relative says the very same person confronted Sims outside and shot him up to 10 times. Sims.
Yeah, man. This looked like a rough dude, too, man. That looked like a rough guy, man. He got naps on his freeform dreads, man. He got nappy freeform dreads. That's a whole son, man. Very little admixture right there, man. Salute to Smoky Treats, man. He says, take the challenge, support the channel. Salute Op Nation, panel, and mods. Appreciate all of you. Yeah, man. I'm about to drop the link, man. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I feel better about my hair, man. I don't really need a house like that. And his brother was at the club. He was at the club, man. Shit, man. Let me drop the link, man. Shit. That bro was out there clubbing, man. Everybody, get your club on. We be clubbing. Everybody love when they take something. We be clubbing. Nothing wrong. Get your club on.
According to police, it all happened around 5:20 yesterday morning when officers got an alert about possible gunfire from a shot spotter detection device near the Tropicana Bar on Northwest 79th Street and 10th Court. Once there, first responders found Sims suffering from multiple gunshot wounds before pronouncing him dead at the scene. According to a relative, all of this started when Sims got into an argument with another patron inside the bar. After leaving, that's when this relative says the very same person confronted Sims outside and shot him up to 10 times. Sims' body was later discovered by police here on the pavement, the spot marked by detectives. Investigators later learning of a second shooting victim who self-transported to Hialeah Hospital before being transferred to Miami's Ryder Trauma. Their possible involvement still being investigated by police. Cameras rolling as detectives spent hours on scene Sunday, blocking off the nearby street as police took photos and collected evidence. So far, a description of the shooter has yet to be released.
Damn, they did all that shit. They brought all the CSI team out there. They brought the whole CSI Miami team down there, man. Collected all that evidence, took all the pictures. And the goddamn blacks wouldn't give them a description of the shooter. Goddamn blacks, man. What you mean? Wouldn't give them a description. Man, y'all something else, man.
Description of the shooter has yet to be released. And as of this afternoon, the bar here remains closed. So far, we have not been able to get in touch with anyone who works here. By the way, we are told that Sims leaves behind a teenage daughter. Crime Stoppers now offering a reward of up to $5,000 for anyone who can provide information that leads to the arrest of the shooter. And a reminder, you do not have to provide them with your name. For now, that is the latest.
Are they going to arrest his barber too, man? Arrest the shooter and arrest his barber. Let's see what else is going on. Another cold case, man.
An Alabama man is behind bars in connection to a 24-year-old cold case. U.S. Marshals arresting 63-year-old Clarence George at his home in Birmingham, accused of stabbing pharmacist Julie McDonald in her Georgia home in the summer of 2000. Investigators said there were several suspects at the time.
Damn. Yo, this the second one tonight, man. An old white woman from back in the day. A cold case. Some white woman just got killed and they couldn't figure it out. It's the second one we done tonight, man. I'm just clicking what the algorithm is giving me, man. I'm not fishing and hunting this shit, man. I'm not picking and choosing, man. I'm just going with what the algorithm is, because I mean, I watch a lot of crime, so my algorithm sends me a lot of this stuff because they know that's what I watch. But this is just what they're sending me, man.
An Alabama man is behind bars in connection to a 24-year-old cold case. U.S. Marshals arresting 63-year-old Clarence George at his home in Birmingham, accused of stabbing pharmacist Julie McDonald in her Georgia home in the summer of 2000. Investigators said there were several suspects at the time of the killing, including George, who was an acquaintance of McDonald, but there was not enough evidence to make any arrests. Now George is awaiting extradition to Georgia. Mary Beth Mangrum has the story.
In a case gone cold, the Walker County Sheriff's Department, in connection with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, announced they've arrested the man they believe killed Julie Ann McDonald in her own home 24 years later.
We were fortunate enough in 2015, 2016 to reopen and re-examine the case and made a lot of headway at that time.
Investigators say the man they've charged was no stranger.
I wouldn't want to characterize it as friends because I don't think friends murders their friends, but they were acquaintances and they knew each other.
63-year-old Clarence George was arrested in Jefferson County, Alabama last week by U.S. Marshals. He would have been 39 years old at the time of the murder.
It may have been 24 years, it may have been 30 years. We're not going to give up on working these cases.
The autopsy report reveals Julie Ann McDonald was stabbed multiple times, and it took days before friends discovered her body.
Most likely for 3 or 4 days upon her body being found.
She was found in her living room at her home on Arnold Lane on June 11th in 2000. It's a day Sheriff Wilson still remembers, with the murder happening 3 years into his time serving the county.
Julie Ann McDonald was found on a Sunday afternoon, a hot Sunday afternoon, I recall, in her home.
George is currently waiting to be extradited to Walker County. We asked investigators if they had discovered a motive for the murder.
We're kind of leaving that for maybe it gets time that's closer to court.
Investigators say that George was one of several suspects they looked at, but he had a certain connection to the victim.
He was found with Miss McDonald's checkbook in Catoosa County early on in the investigation. So it kind of came up on the radar then.
And making this arrest allows them to help those who've waited more than 20 years for answers.
Julie McDonald has a niece and a nephew.
So a white woman was dead, man, stabbed up in her home, and this son turd was found. He was found with her checkbook, man. They was like, all right, man, we're going to keep an eye on you, man, but you can go home. And it took them 24 years to... Jesus Christ. White people are crazy. Press 1, man. White people are absolutely crazy, man. This system wasn't made for us, man.
Catoosa County early on in the investigation. So it kind of came up on the radar then.
And making this arrest allows them to help those who've waited more than 20 years for answers.
Julie McDonald has a niece and a nephew out there, and we've made them aware of the arrest.
All you bad guys out there that have done these murders and you haven't been brought to justice, we're coming. Might not be today, may not be tomorrow, but we're coming.
George is currently being held in the Jefferson County Jail, waiting extradition to face murder.
Man, rough, man. Woo. That's rough, man.
Continuing to track new developments on a double homicide in Webster Parish. Tonight, a community is heartbroken after a 10-year-old...
Damn, Fantasia doing the news now, man. Somebody give Fantasia another hit so she don't have to do this shit, man. It's beneath you, Fantasia.
Continuing to track new developments on a double homicide in Webster Parish. Tonight, a community is heartbroken after a 10-year-old reportedly shot and killed 2 people in Minden. KSLA's Miracle Garrett spent the day in Minden speaking with the victim's neighbors. She joins us now live in studio with the latest developments. Miracle, what happened?
Well, Jasmine, the community...
Damn, this the hood rap. But it's the Hood Rat News, man. The Hood News Network, man. The hell going on over here, man?
She joins us now live in studio with the latest developments. Miracle, what happened?
Well, Jasmine, the community is shaken up and devastated after 2 people were killed this morning in Minden. When I spoke to the neighbors this evening, they were all expressing their condolences for the family.
My gunshot. It was pow, 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 and then pow, 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 pow.
Just after 6 Sunday morning, Minden police were called to a home on Austin Street. Inside the home, police found 2 bodies identified as 82-year-old Joe Cornelius and 31-year-old Keisha Miles. Both suffered from multiple gunshot wounds. Neighbors are shocked and in disbelief.
He was real high respected in the community. He was real, I mean, he was sheriff department, he was the man for a little while, after man and stuff, you know.
Hey, bro, man. Bless me, man. What language is this brother speaking, man?
Real high respected in the community. You know,
Neighbors are shocked and in disbelief.
he was real high respected in the community. He was real, I mean, he was sheriff department, he was the man for a little
Sound
while.
like Geechee.
Stuff, you know, and he's working at the funeral home.
They sound like what?
Geechee. They talk Geechee down there.
Where is this? Oh, Louisiana?
Yeah.
I thought the Geechees was in Georgia and in Savannah. I thought they was in Savannah.
They all over down there.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. He was a good man. He was a good man.
An investigation led to the arrest of a 10-year-old juvenile who reportedly confessed to the deaths. According to neighbors, an argument broke out between Cornelius and the 10-year-old about credit card charges on video games.
You know, I think that would help me.
What the fuck? Hold on, man. We got time out, man.
Pow, and then pow.
He killed the guy and his daughter. Shit.
After 6 Sunday morning, Minden police were called to a home on Austin Street. Inside the home, police found 2 bodies identified as 82-year-old Joe Cornelius and 31-year-old Keisha Miles. Both suffered from multiple gunshot wounds. Neighbors are shocked and in disbelief.
He was real high respected in the community. He was real, I mean, he was sheriff department, he was the man for a little while, after man and stuff, you know, and he's working at the funeral home and stuff like that. He was a good man. He was a good man.
An investigation led to the arrest of a 10-year-old juvenile who reportedly confessed to the deaths. According to neighbors, an argument broke out between Cornelius and the 10-year-old about credit card charges on video games.
You know, I think that would help me arguing with him. I heard him, hollering and stuff. You know, that was my cousin. I hated that happened, you know, over a game and stuff. I don't think that's right. You know, the boy, autistic. He was autistic.
The Minden Police Department, sheriffs, and marshals were on scene. Cornelius was confirmed to be a former Minden city councilman and a former interim mayor.
And Joe got the arguing with him. The boy just pulled a gun off. I mean, Joe used to be a sheriff. He had guns because he used to work for the sheriff department. And the boy know where it was. It's a sad thing.
The current mayor of Minden released a public statement saying, "It is with deep sadness that we mourn the loss of Joe Cornelius Sr., a former longtime Minden city councilman and former appointed mayor of Minden. Joe Cornelius's years of service to Minden were marked by his commitment and dedication to the betterment of our community. On a personal note, I am grateful for his friendship and the many ways he supported me and others in our city. During this incredibly difficult time, I ask that we keep Joe's family in our thoughts and prayers. May they find comfort and strength in the midst of this tragedy. Let us come together as a community to honor Joe's memory and support one another through this time of grief. The investigation is ongoing, and KSLA will keep you updated with more information.
Man, what a sad state of affairs, man. This brother lived all that time to get smoked by a 10-year-old over some video games and shit charges on a credit card.
Sad world, man. Sad world.
Unbelievable, man. Oh yeah, we're gonna check this out, man. We covered this the other day, man.
Heartbreak ahead of the fall semester at UW Whitewater. Classmates there are in mourning after a star gymnast was shot and killed over the weekend. Our Brett Lemoyne shares how she's being remembered on campus tonight.
On the vault, gymnast Kara Welsh was a national champion and two-time All-American.
She was a great gymnast.
That's how students like sophomore Jonah Freedy will remember her. Freedy says the pain of losing her in such a tragic way has impacted the whole campus.
Just praying for her family. Everyone here's praying for her family.
Just before midnight Friday, Whitewater police say they were called to an apartment downtown for an apparent homicide. Investigators say Welsh was found dead and shot multiple times. Welsh was just 21 years old.
I think everyone's first day isn't as happy and exciting as it should be because of this.
Police arrested a 23-year-old man. Investigators will only say he knew Welsh and that they had some sort of fight before the.
They arrested a 23-year-old man. Give me an idea on that man, Mystic Philly, man. What you think, man?
Well, I said yesterday, I think he a hybrid. He's mixed. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, you like this dude? You think he said this? So what you trying to say, man? You said this? Dude?
No. Look at most of the guys that they showed in the little video clips. Most of them look like they mixed.
Yeah, man. You trying? I see you, man. You trying to? Okay, you trying to? You trying to keep it street? You ain't. You want to snitch without really snitching and shit. Okay, I got you, man.
You asked me. You asked for my opinion. You asked for my opinion. I'm giving it to you.
Yeah, you blowing homie spot up like that, man. He trying to blend in. He trying to act normal and shit. Like, sir, could you give a statement? Sure, yeah, man. It's fucked up, man. What happened to her, man? Damn shame, man. Yeah, man, that's the way you. This is how you do it, man. You blend in, man. You act like you act concerned, like, damn, man, fucked up, man. We gotta find that dude, man.
Shit, he probably knew him. Dude right here probably knew him.
Man.
Everyone's first day isn't as happy and exciting as it should be because of this.
Police arrested a 23-year-old man. Investigators will only say he knew Welsh and that they had some sort of fight before the shooting. UW Whitewater's fall semester now begins in mourning.
Sad that happened to her. Such a young age and in college.
Campus flags will be flown at half-staff Tuesday to honor the Plainfield, Illinois native. The university notified the Warhawk gymnastics team of her death in person.
In a statement, we're also hearing from Welsh's coach.
A powerful athlete, dedicated teammate, and a light in everyone's dark days. Kara truly lifted each and every one of us up in her time as a Warhawk gymnast. There are no words to describe the void we all feel in our hearts.
I'm on the cross-country team. And my girlfriend is on the gymnastics team, and just her seeing her going through that and their whole team is just very saddening.
By Monday afternoon, a GoFundMe for her family had raised more than $25,000.
We're all like a family here, so when that happens, it's really sad.
In Whitewater.
Let's see if we can find out who did this to this beautiful white girl, man. Hit the PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. Support the channel, guys. We're going to do the Chicago mass shooting after this, man. I just want to find out who killed this beautiful white girl, man. This Angel, man. Who killed this Angel, man? Uh-oh.
She looked like she could be a little mixed herself.
She a Melungeon?
No, Melungeon got three to different 4 bloodlines running through him.
It said a white guy killed Kara Welch, yet these racist, rage-baiting, steroid-using white people on here trying to start a race war like idiots. Okay, so they said it was a white guy? Let's see, man. Show us, man. Show us the guy who did it, man. You want to see him, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
In an extremely tragic set of circumstances, a U.S. college gymnast was found gunned down and unalive next to her college campus. 21-year-old Kara Welch was a star athlete for her college, the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Having won a national title on the vault in her junior year, she also competed as a floor specialist. Needless to say, Kara was enormously talented, and she had possible Olympic potential. Unfortunately, those dreams were cut short when 21-year-old Kara Welch was found dead with multiple gunshot wounds near campus shortly before midnight. Police arrested a 23-year-old man and charged him with first-degree intentional homicide. Police said in a statement, it was determined through investigation that leading up to the shooting, an altercation had taken place between the two. The investigation is ongoing, and police are urging the community to come forward with any relevant information. A GoFundMe has been set up for Kara's family.
Dude thought he was busting around or some shit.
I don't know what's going on there, man. That's a minute we got. Yeah, damn, man. Look, she's all right, man. This is Division 2 or 3. She's good, man. She's good for Division 2, 3. Can't find anything. Well, it'll come out. We'll see the guy one of these days, man. Everybody hit the like button, man. Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat, man.
Brett Lemoyne, Fox 6 News.
Whitewater police tell us a 23-year-old suspect has not yet been criminally charged. They are calling this an isolated incident.
Isolated incident. So he has not been criminally charged, man.
Dana and Jackie, an update from the last time I saw you guys just about 30 minutes ago. Forest Park Police now saying they responded to a shooting here at 5:30 this morning. They found 4 people shot. 3 of those people were deceased, pronounced here on the scene. A 4th person was taken to the hospital where they later died. They say the shooter initially got away, but Forest Park Police, working closely with CTA security, were later able to track down a suspect through surveillance video. CPD found the suspect matching the description on a CTA Pink Line train and took them into custody. They say they also recovered a gun in that arrest. Forest Park detectives, along with the West Suburban Major Crimes Task Force unit, now taking over the investigation. They say right now they believe this was an isolated incident. A number of neighboring agencies here assisting this investigation: Elmwood Park, Franklin Park, Cicero, Berwyn Police, all here on scene. This is a very active, fluid situation right now. We know the Blue Line is shut down between Austin and Forest Park here. There are shuttle buses just on the other side of the transit center here. They're helping to get people where they need to go, may it be a bus stop or a different train station. The police tell me here it is likely the station here will be closed for the rest of the day. Reporting live in Forest Park, Asal Razai, CBS News.
Man,
A breaking news update now at 10 on a deadly mass shooting inside a CTA train in the western suburbs. The gunman accused of killing 4 people was arrested but hasn't been charged yet. Our Andrew Ramos has been following the investigation all day. He is live from the Forest Park Police Station with what we've learned about the 4 victims. Andrew.
Well, Erica, CBS News Chicago has confirmed through Forest Park Police that after reviewing surveillance footage, it appears all 4 victims were sleeping at the time they were shot. Investigators also now say that the deadly shooting appears to be random, where none of the victims knew each other. Tonight, among the biggest unanswered questions, what was the motive?
Appears to be 3 individuals unresponsive on the same road car, 3219. Number of passengers deceased on this appears to be deceased on the same.
The startling call came in just before 5:30 this morning. 4 passengers all shot in at least 2 train cars entering the Forest Park Blue Line station. 3 of them pronounced dead at the scene, while the 4th was taken to the hospital where they later died.
Obviously, it's shocking. It is uncommon, to have a mass shooting like this, especially this close to home. That we're actually actively investing on.
Why keep looking like you doing? Yeah. Yo, man, what the fuck, man? Stop doing that, man. You distracting us, man, from what's really going on.
Shocking. It is uncommon, to have a mass shooting like this, especially this close to home. That we're actually actively investing on, on a holiday.
Forest Park Police quickly worked with CTA Security, getting a description of the gunman through surveillance footage, sharing that with Chicago police.
A description of the gunman, man. What you think, man, Mystic Philly, man? What's your description of the gunman, man?
I'll say man on this one. It's a little strange, though. 4 people shot sleeping? I don't know.
That means they were unhoused. They were just, using this train station as kind of like, I guess, cover, like, or a place to, be inside or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but for somebody to randomly just, shoot 4 people, dude probably has some mental issues or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just shooting random people while they're sleeping. That's so sick, man. That's sad, man.
Who found a man who matched that description on a CTA Pink Line train, placing him into custody a short time later. While police say a gun was also recovered, the motive for the shooting remains unclear. Forest Park Mayor Rory Hoskins says the tragedy highlights the need for more resources in the village to address growing security concerns at the Forest Park Blue Line train station, which we're told averages 11 911 calls a day, involving everything from mental health emergencies to opioid overdoses. He's now asking for help from Springfield.
We would ask them to consider investing additional resources in terms of safety, public safety, law enforcement personnel, what have you.
Neighbors who live just steps away from the station say they hope the problems are addressed sooner than later.
We've had neighbors with needles in their backyard. We've had people relieving themselves in the backyard. It's not funny, but those are the things happening.
The identities of the 4 victims still not released tonight. The gunman who remains in custody, also his identity also not released. We are still waiting charges to be announced in this case. That's the latest from here outside the Forest Park Police Station. Andrew Ramos, CBS News, Chicago.
Andrew, thank you for staying on top of this all day.
Wow. Very little information coming out of that, man. Very little information, man. It's almost like, let's see if Fox can
to Chicago for our next story. A gorgeous Live Now look there over the Windy City skyline. It has to do, though, with crime on this Labor Day. 4 people were fatally shot on the CTA Blue Line train this morning. For more on what happened, we're going out to our friend there at Fox 32 in Chicago, reporter Nate Rogers with the details. He joins me. Nate, thanks for being with us, especially on this Labor Day. What exactly all went down there this morning?
Yeah, Andrew, well, good evening to you and to your viewers at home. I tell you, truly a tragic day here in Chicago. Authorities calling this incident heinous. We have learned over the last couple of hours from multiple sources that detectives are working to determine if this was a random act by a gunman who apparently shot and killed 4 people while they were on a CTA Blue Line train here overnight. Those 4 people, we're told, were sleeping tonight. The suspected gunman is in custody.
It's a horrible tragedy that 4 people are dead.
Oh, God, him again.
Multiple ambulances on scene along with law enforcement from various agencies. It happened around 5:30 a.m. 4 people shot, apparently sleeping on a Blue Line.
Okay, so there's very little information about it, man. Hopefully we can wait. We can get more information in a couple days, man, or in a day, maybe tomorrow, man. Let's see. Dang.
Hey, boy, this was bad yesterday afternoon. A park ranger recovering after being stabbed in Rittenhouse Square, right there by the gazebo in the middle.
Oh, we did that. Yeah. We did that. The son man stabbed the guy right there at the gazebo. Yeah, we did that, man, yesterday, man. Oh, what was that?
Hey, boy, this was bad yesterday afternoon. A park ranger recovering after being stabbed in Rittenhouse Square, right there by the...
Live from the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
Right now at 5, one elderly woman is dead and another woman is fighting for her life after Jacksonville police say they were both hit by a car on the west side this morning. This happened in the Hyde Park area near Ed White High School.
Police say the 2 women were neighbors who had gone for a morning walk, and other residents in the area said this is something they would do together every day. News 4 Jax anchor reporter John Acebus joins us from that scene after speaking with neighbors who knew the 2 women. John?
Yeah, guys, there's 2 things that you're going to notice. One is there are no sidewalks on this road, but if you head north of me, this is where this happened, just north of our SUV there. But at 8:38 in the morning, that's when the call came in. So you would imagine there's plenty of light for anybody driving or walking to see each other. But JSO is investigating how this ended up happening. Meanwhile, you've got a neighborhood and family members who are devastated. A nearby neighbor standing in shock, staring.
Salute to my man Graham, man. He said the haircut tip. Yeah, man. I'm trying to get out here tomorrow and get this done in the morning, man. Poor these poor elderly women. I want to mow them down, man.
Who are devastated. A nearby neighbor standing in shock, staring at the SUV Jacksonville sheriff's officers say hit 2 elderly women Monday morning, killing one of them.
I may not know who they are, but they're neighbors.
Ram Rivera has lived here for more than 20 years.
My wife walks around here as well, and she sees a couple of ladies walking around with a baby carriage and picking up trash, on the way, keep the neighborhood clean.
Jacksonville sheriff's officers say the man driving the SUV that hit the women stayed on scene. Right now, officers are sorting out how it happened. Detectives will collect evidence, then present the case to the state attorney's office.
It looks like he's just was driving down the road and missed them.
That is the vehicle right there. You see the damage on the hood. This is absolutely heartbreaking. Everyone that I've spoken with out here in this neighborhood, they all know the women that were going on these walks, and sadly the one that we know has passed away. I also spoke with the victim's son. He said it's just him and his mom out here. He doesn't know anyone else here in Jax, so it's a heartbreaking day. The son was also on scene and was clearly devastated. Some neighbors in that area gave him what encouragement they could. Meanwhile, this is the 89th traffic fatality in Duval County this year, far lower than the 129 at this time last year. JSO credits traffic enforcement, but also asks people to be aware of where you're driving to prevent tragedies like what happened here.
The neighbors, plain and simple.
So one thing that you'll notice in that story is that police talked about a baby stroller. They often had this stroller and it had a dog inside of it. I'm not sure what kind of dog that was, but it's obviously small enough to be in that stroller. So police say after that happened, the dog took off. So if you live in this neighborhood, maybe bringing that dog home could be something good that could come out of this.
Jeez. Shit. Mowed her down.
9th, though, the 89th vehicle tragedy. This shit, I don't even think we anywhere close to that in Philly.
Yeah, man, this is insane, man. Let's see. Trying to spread it around, man. Trying to get some other groups involved in this, man. Here we go, man.
The alert: a man arrested this weekend accused of raping a woman on a cruise ship. Local 10 Sanella Sabovic joining us live from Fort Lauderdale with the latest on the charges he's now facing. Sanella.
Well, Andrew, Juan Campos is the defendant. He, along with the victim, a woman that is 20 years old, were aboard a cruise ship last week when she told authorities that he raped her. Right when that cruise returned to port, he was arrested. He remains here locked up at the Broward County Main Jail. And we did have a chance to speak to his attorney today. And
man, he took that broad on a cruise and she wasn't trying to give up the cheeks, man. If I take you on a cruise and you try to front on me, man, after we took you on a cruise, man, never mind, man. I don't want to incriminate myself. Say that.
he tells me that when the victim told him to stop, he did.
Mr. Campos, I do find probable cause for the charge as stated.
28-year-old Juan Campos faced a judge following his arrest on Sunday. He's accused of raping a woman while they were on a cruise ship.
Cruise, he was with friends. They met some people on board, and next thing you know, he's charged with this crime.
Both Campos and the victim, a 20-year-old woman, were aboard the Royal Caribbean Freedom of the Seas last week. According to an arrest report on August 28th around 2 a.m., they were engaged in close physical contact. Campos' attorney, Ed Hogue, speaking out on his client's behalf.
Sounds like they were, quote unquote, making out. It started going a little too far. When the lady said stop, when she verbally expressed stop, he stopped.
The arrest report states that the victim was penetrated with an unknown object against her will, going on to say, in the feeling of pain, the victim placed her hands on the defendant's shoulders, pushed him, and told him to stop, and it hurts. It doesn't end there. Per the report, the victim told deputies that Campos tried to have her perform an oral act on him, but was unsuccessful, and tried to penetrate her again, but was also unsuccessful.
Well, that's not the way I read it, because otherwise they would have charged it with force or using violence. And as the police themselves put on here, it's sexual battery, no physical force or violence.
Campos, we're told, is from Houston. He comes from a law enforcement family.
The family says that this guy has no criminal history. He's a great kid. He was on a vacation, and they're shocked by the allegations.
A judge granted Campos a $20,000 bond. He is to have no firearms and to have no contact with his victim. That is.
Wow. Wow. Who killed this?
So she was confident, she was loving.
Right now it's 6. Heartache from.
Oh yeah, we did that one. Yeah, she got killed by her sugar daddy. Her sugar daddy killed her. Let's see what else is going on, man.
Now to a story that may stun you. This is new video of a 12-year-old boy breaking into a Rockville car dealership. Montgomery County police sources told News 4 he's done this 5 times at various car dealerships, and in some cases, he even managed to steal cars. News 4's Amy Cho explains why police have not been able to hold him in custody, and she also has more of this exclusive video you will only see on News 4.
A 12-year-old boy breaking into a car dealership. Watch as he opens the window at Pristine Auto in Rockville early Tuesday, then climbs in head first. You can see him wandering around the dealership for about 15 minutes, searching various drawers and desks. He opens the fridge, looking for a snack, and he goes outside and can be seen searching the dealership's vehicles. Police sources tell News 4 it's not the first time he's done this. These are the 5 Montgomery County dealerships the boy is accused of targeting this month, including BMW and Audi in Rockville. In some break-ins, he managed to steal cars. But in each case, police couldn't hold him due to his age. Under a Maryland juvenile justice reform law passed 2 years ago, kids under age 13 can't be charged with property crimes.
Employees here at Pristine Auto tell me that same
Kids under 12 can't be charged with property crimes, man. According to a new law, man, they passed last year. Salute to David DeHart, man. He says, I moved to North Carolina mountains 2 years ago. Have not seen a sun within a 75-mile radius. A few in Asheville. Man, you sitting pretty, man. Stay away from Asheville.
Justice reform law passed 2 years ago. Kids under age 13, his age. Under a Maryland juvenile justice reform law passed 2 years ago, kids under age 13 can't be charged with property crimes.
Who remembers that white lady that was shouting at them dudes in Baltimore about shouting at the DA about him wanting to lock up your kids? Well, ma'am, these are the kids that he's trying to lock up. These kids
steal cars. But in each case, police couldn't hold him due to his age. Under a Maryland juvenile justice reform law passed 2 years ago, kids under age 13 can't be charged with property crimes.
So basically, this kid is just like, he's untouchable, man, until he's what, 18? Well, no, when is he not a kid anymore? 13?
Depends. I believe it depends on the state. So, I don't know, maybe in this case, maybe 16, 17.
Man, he's untouchable, man. He got a nice little run, man. He can do whatever he want to do, man.
Under age 13 can't be charged with property crimes.
Under 13.
employees here at Pristine Auto tell me that same boy came back here again 2 days later to try to break in, this time while workers were still in the office.
The workers called police and officers caught the boy down the street. News 4 is blurring his face here because he's a minor. Sources familiar with the investigation tell News 4 police have had to drop the boy off at his home in D.C. after catching him. In Rockville, Amy Cho.
So he breaks into the dealership, steals a bunch of cars, they catch him, breaks into a bunch of shit, steals a car, they catch him, and they drive him home. Listen, man. When you glad it's gonna stop playing, man? When you glad it's gonna stop playing, man? Stop messing around.
You can't even argue anything in this case because he knows. You know, he's like, yo, I'm untouchable. You know.
Yep. He knows it in his little 12-year-old mind. He's arrogant. Like, listen, my daughter, she's 3. She'll be 4 in February. In October. And when she started getting away with shit, man, my daughter started telling me no. She be calling me Michael. My daughter crazy, man. We went too soft on her, man. Yeah, man, she be calling me Michael, man. I
She
be
call
like,
you
man.
by your first name and shit.
What the fuck?
I said no, Michael.
Yeah, my daughter, man, she off the chain, man. So I know how little kids are when they think they, running shit, man.
We begin tonight with that search for the 3 teens believed to be behind a brazen smash and grab robbery that led to a lockdown at a popular Northern Virginia mall. We appreciate you staying up with us for News 4 at 11. I'm Drew Wilder. Arlington County Police first responded to Fashion Center at Pentagon City Mall for a report of shots fired. That was at about 3:30 this afternoon, but investigators say there wasn't any shooting. But police then turned their search for 3 suspected thieves who broke into a high-end watch store with hammers. News 4's Mauricio Casillas has video that shows the aftermath. He also spoke with shoppers who witnessed all of this chaos.
You see how quick they took that Rolex, right?
This cell phone video recorded by a shopper inside the Pentagon City Mall appears to show the suspected thieves sprinting away after robbing the Torno watch store. You can see them trying to pick up some of the watches as some of the leftover spray from the fire extinguisher lingers in the air. Those inside the mall thought it was gunshots.
Boom, 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 boom. I used to be a security guard at this mall back in 06. Yeah, I say 06. 05, 06. I walked every foot of this mall 1,000 times, man. The back, all that shit. And yeah, they got a lot of, this is probably the nicest mall. They have a Ritz-Carlton that's attached to the mall. A lot of NBA teams.
High-end stores.
Yeah, all the teams stay when they come to play. In DC, the road teams stay at the Ritz-Carlton that's attached to this mall. Very, very nice mall. High-end stuff, man. But it's near DC. You can get there on the train. That's the only problem.
After robbing the Torno watch store. You can see them trying to pick up some of the watches as some of the leftover spray from the fire extinguisher lingers in the air. Those inside the mall thought it was gunshots.
Boom, 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 boom. So everybody ran in the store.
Arlington County Police originally responded to reports of shots being fired inside, but the preliminary investigation reveals that wasn't the case. Instead, police say the thieves smashed some of the display cases inside the store with hammers. Witnesses say a mad scramble ensued with people not knowing what was happening as they ran for cover.
My heart stopped. Like it was beating so fast the whole time. And I was in the dressing room changing, and I just hear running. Everyone's just running at me, like towards me, to hide. And I froze for a little bit and I was shaking.
Police say no one was hurt, but the chaotic smash and grab led to panic inside the mall. Stores inside quickly closed their doors as people sheltered in place.
I heard the gate close and everyone was just freaking out. People were crying.
The lockdown lasted for about an hour before customers were able to finally leave.
It's Labor Day and this is ridiculous.
Ashley Pager says she works in the store right next to where the robbery happened. She says she's never seen anything like it.
I hope these people get caught and are held accountable.
And while those I spoke with say they're thankful no one was hurt, they say they're concerned to hear police believe the suspects are teens.
This is the time that we're living in. This is the time we're living in. That's all I can say.
And again, police are still on the lookout for those 3 teen suspects who were last seen running away from the mall in black clothing. The mall was shut down on Sunday.
Damn, they got away. Shit. Wow. They'll try it again. They'll be back.
Yeah, they hit the same Torno. They had one out in King of Prussia. Yeah, it's outside of Philly though, and they hit them up a couple of times before. I don't understand why these places just don't understand that it's going to happen. Just put some imitation shit in there for show. I don't know.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. Like when I was there, when I was working at that place, it never that never happened. That stuff. One time, a dude came into the Movado store and just tore everything up, but he didn't steal anything. He just broke all the cases. He was crazy. That stuff doesn't, it didn't happen. This was damn near 18 years ago. Shit. So yeah, it's a new type of criminal now. They're more brazen now.
Yeah,
For 18, that type of crime is a grown man crime. If teenagers are doing this, coming in and smashing the cases and stealing the watches, that's a new thing for teenagers, man. Teenagers, everything's different now, man. When I was working in the mall, when I was doing my Paul Blart shit, people would steal, but they would try to be sneaky. They would sneaky steal. They would put it in their bag, go in the dressing room. They didn't do this type of shit like that, man. As brazen as they are now. Everybody's so brazen now. Damn.
Charged with driving drunk and causing a crash that killed 3 people, has now changed his plea. This is a major development as Andrew Blankenship now says he's not guilty.
It's been an emotionally draining experience for the families of those victims. And WLWT News 5's Brian Hamrick was in the courtroom and is live with this story. Brian, this all took a turn at the last minute.
Yeah, actually, this was supposed to be a sentencing on a guilty plea. That was taken back. So all the courtroom work is now unraveled, and it's almost like starting over from the beginning.
As he made his way into court, Andrew Blankenship opened the door to an alternate future.
State versus Andrew Blankenship.
Like a recurring nightmare for family of the victims, it was a repeat appearance. The 4th time, Blankenship was scheduled to be sentenced after pleading guilty. Instead,
Judge, at this point, we're going to be asking the court to allow Mr. Blankenship to withdraw his guilty plea.
Blankenship takes a legal mulligan and asks for a deal or no deal do-over, taking back his guilty plea. Prosecutors asking for a quick resolution.
This has been pending for a long time, and this is very difficult for the victims' families.
The victims' families have been waiting more than a year.
There's a car upside down on fire. There's another one that's been plowed into in the back.
He completely destroyed all of our families in one night. One night.
Police say Blankenship was driving drunk, no lights, when he slammed into vehicles parked in the emergency lane along 275 in April 2023. 3 people were killed. Janiyah Glover, her car broke down. Richard Glasser, a family friend who came to help, and Keith Skaggs, the tow truck driver.
This was our last picture together.
Damn. So this guy was a family friend. He came to help Janiyah, man. And the tow truck driver, all 3 of them got killed, man. That's so sad, man.
Janiyah Glover, her car broke down. Richard Glasser, a family friend who came to help, and Keith Skaggs, the tow truck driver.
This was our last picture together.
Janiyah's mother felt like it was progress when Blankenship pleaded guilty.
I was just waiting to hear them words come out his mouth. Guilty.
And now
You got to be fair in these cases, and just considering everything. And since we do have to judge, I'm on the case now. I'll let you withdraw the plea.
Blankenship takes it all back, and he's set to go on trial over the consequences that can't be taken back.
Yeah, now here's what's behind all this. Now, this all started, who took the guilty plea was another judge. There's been a judge change. Judge Tom Heekin took the plea, had the case. Well, now Judge Ruhlman has it. Now, this was an open plea, and what that means is that the judge gets to determine the sentence. And when you got 2 different judges, you could have dramatically different sentences. It could mean the difference of years in jail for the defendant, and it looks like Blankenship wanted no part of what Judge Ruhlman was going to have to say about it. That could have played a part in all of this. Reporting live, Brian Hamrick, WLWT News 5.
So wait, you get to choose your judge? Wow. I don't like this judge. He got attitude, man. Give me the other judge, man. cream puff judge. Wow. Wow.
Way too many issues with this legal, not even just the legal system, but just the entire system.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit going on. It's just unbelievable. Yes, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Everything is different for him now.
Right now, one family is speaking up about the ordeal they went through due to lead paint. It is a toxic substance still found in homes across Baltimore City.
And that family discovered it in their home after their child's blood work revealed exposure at a routine doctor's appointment. 11 News reporter Tommy Clark has their wake-up call.
Everything is different for him now.
Dominic and India's son will be 2 years old in August. Jojo loves watching his shows, cuddles, and running around in his tiny Jordans. What you wouldn't know is his diagnosis, discovered at his 12-month checkup.
He got a fingerprint test, and it said that his lead was high, so then his doctor asked for a blood test.
Jojo had an elevated blood lead level of 8.8 micrograms per deciliter. 3.5 is the CDC designated level of concern. The family believes the lead exposure came from their comfort zone, their own home.
So how come the parents don't have it? Or did they? I don't know.
Year-old West Baltimore row home off West Saratoga Street that they'd been renting for a year and a half.
The chipping paint and then lead dust is the biggest exposure in Baltimore City.
In Maryland, a positive lead test in young children alerts local and state agencies. Baltimore's childhood lead poisoning prevention program takes on cases like Jojo's. They say there is no safe level of lead.
If you have older housing, lead is definitely going to be a challenge. We definitely see lead exposure. We definitely see not large amounts, but moderate amounts of lead exposure in relation to the housing that we have. So you will see flaking and chipping paint. You will see older houses, older windows, just some houses, unfortunately, in disrepair. And that's kind of where we target our work at.
Maryland law requires all rental properties built prior to 1978 be inspected before anyone moves in.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Calvin aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Man, that sucks, man. Wow. That sucks, man.
Car rental turns violent, and police say shots rang out late last night in Wyoming, Ohio. WCPO 9 News reporter Sam Harrell-Simowitz went to the neighborhood to learn more details about just what happened there.
Miguel Fritz appeared in...
Miguel Fritz. That's a goddamn... He got some African DNA, man. It's a goddamn Bantu warrior swimming through his blood veins, man.
In court early Monday morning. He's facing multiple felony assault charges after an incident taking place after 11 p.m. on Sunday.
3 victims all corroborating the same story. One is young as the age of 7.
The scene of the shooting hours later, calm and quiet. Several cars lined up along the road. Neighbors said a Jeep, muscle car, and truck were part of Fritz's rental car business.
With respect to these allegations, he tells me he repossessed a car from the victim earlier in the day. Apparently, the person came back to rent a car. He rents through Turo and refused that rental and then made this allegation. He says the allegation's false.
Officers charged him with 3 counts of felonious assault.
Court documents say the incident took place along this area of Oak Avenue. Those documents also saying that the victims feared for their life and fled on foot towards the Wyoming Police Department, which happens to be right across the street.
Court documents said shell casings were found on the ground.
Shell casings recovered from the scene is a funny thing to find if there had been no weapon discharged at the scene.
The Wyoming Police Department said Fritz rents cars to people, and he's reported issues with previous customers to police before. Officers told me they don't know what kind of gun was used. Police told WCPO nobody was injured. In Wyoming,
They have a suppressor on it.
Man, yeah, man. Trying to play with dude, man, just because he ain't a real car rental, he ain't hurt or nothing like that. So they try to play with him and shit. He like, nah, you ain't playing with me, nigga. I shoot your ass. You don't fucking bring my car back. We did that one. Excuse me. Wow. Let's see what else is going on out here, man.
Video evidence helped clear a man who was facing serious time behind bars.
A picture's worth 1,000 words, especially in a courtroom.
On August 5th at a little after 5 in the evening, investigators say two groups of males met in a drainage area in the Shadow Creek neighborhood in Buda to fight. A juvenile is seen on video fighting a 21-year-old. Then 17-year-old Eric Marin, who's related to the juvenile, pulls out a gun and starts shooting. A juvenile from the other group returns fire. Then the 21-year-old grabs the gun and shoots Marin dead.
That's just terrible that someone would get their life taken away at such a young age, being under the age of 18. It's just terrible in a calm neighborhood like this. I wouldn't expect that to happen.
The Hayes County District Attorney's
boys, this is a white neighborhood. This was an aberration, man. They're gonna be talking about this for years. 20 years from now, remember that time?
Being under the age of 18, it's just terrible in a calm neighborhood like this. I wouldn't expect that to happen.
The Hayes County District Attorney's Office says Marin was the first person to draw and fire a gun. They say they reviewed all the evidence and the shooting was justified as self-defense in defense of a third person. A grand jury agreed, and the 21-year-old will not be charged with murder.
You are allowed to use deadly force to repel deadly force, and you're allowed to use deadly force whether or not it's directed at you or at a third person.
The DA's office says the other juveniles involved may still face charges.
The goal of the juvenile prosecutors of the justice system here would be to find some reason to bring these kids who probably could use some type of rehabilitative measure, bring them into the fold and get them the help that they probably need.
Yeah, man. Great show, guys, man. Salute, man. Great show, man. I'm trying to get my hair cut in the morning, man. Great show, guys, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.
Peace.